Hey crocheters, welcome back. Get ready for a super easy and fast tutorial on how to make a gorgeous peacock coaster. I'm so excited to share this with you. I hope you find this video helpful. You can make your coaster as big or small as you want by adding or subtracting rows. And feel free to play around with different color combinations. The possibilities are endless. For this coaster, I will be using Himalaya amigurumi cotton yarn. I will be using a 2.75mm crochet hook for the coaster. If you enjoy this video, please give it a like, and if you'd like to see more, go ahead and subscribe. Ready? Alright, let's get started. Let's start by making a magic ring. Chain 3. Inside the ring, let's make a total of 15 double crochets, including the starting chain. Once you have completed 15 double crochets, slip stitch into the top of the first chain to finish the round. Now chain 3 to start round 2. Into each of the 15 double crochets from the previous row, make a double crochet. By the end of this round, you should have a total of 30 double crochets. When you reach the end of the round, slip stitch into the top of your first chain. Chain 1, cut your yarn, and let's change colors. You can start your new color in any double crochet stitch from the previous row. Chain 3, then make a double crochet in the same space. Next, make one single crochet in the top of the next double crochet. In the following stitch, make a double crochet. Then in the next stitch, make one single crochet. For round 3, continue with this pattern of double crochet, followed by single crochet all the way to the end of the round. When you reach the end of this round, slip stitch into the top of your first chain, chain 1, cut your yarn, and let's change colors again. Attach your new yarn to any double crochet stitch. Chain 1 and make single crochets in each stitch across until you reach the end of the row. Slip stitch into the starting single crochet to finish, then fasten off and weave in the ends. Time to change colors. We will continue with our fourth color. Chain 1 and secure your yarn in any single crochet stitch. Chain 3, then into that same space make a double crochet. Chain 1 and make 2 double crochets in that same space. Skip the next 2 stitches and then work 2 double crochet. Chain 1 and 2 double crochet again into the same stitch. Skip the next 2 stitches and repeat. 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet. Continue this pattern across the entire round, creating a total of 10 groups of these double crochet clusters. We have made 3 so far. Let's finish up those remaining 7 groups together. Altogether, I created a total of 10 groups side by side, 2, 4, 6, 8, and finally 10, 10 factorial. Chain 1, and cut your yarn again for another color change. Secure your yarn in the first chain space at the beginning of this row. Chain 3. Then into that same space make 2 double crochets and chain 1 again before making another group of double crochets. We will repeat what we did for our last group until we reach that 10th group at the end of this row. In each chain space between these groups we created earlier, make 2 double crochets and chain 1 again before making another set of double crochets in each space between groups. As we transition between groups, do not chain. Just continue as we did before to create a total of 10 groups again. When you reach the end of this row, chain 1 to cut your yarn and change colors again as we repeat our previous steps. Now we're going to repeat what we did in the last round, but we're going to change the number of stitches in each cluster. We're going to work 3 double crochet stitches, chain 1, and 3 double crochet stitches into each chain space. Chain 3. Work 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet into the same stitch. Continue this pattern all the way around. When you reach the end of the round, chain 1, and then cut your yarn. We're moving on to round 4. For the 4th row, we're going to repeat the pattern from the yellow row. In the first space, 3 single crochets, chain 1, and 3 single crochets. If it looks tight at all from previous rounds, feel free to use 2 chains instead while making those transitions. After creating our circular shape, we will have made a total of 4 stacked rows now. Remember that in the first 2 rounds we worked 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet. And in the last 2 rounds we worked 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet stitches. We're going to do a little something different in the last round to create that fun peacock feather look. I have finished my 4 rows now. Now it is time for us to work on our final row together. You can secure your yarn anywhere near those clusters inside that circle shape we made earlier. Chain 1. Look here at those 2 single crochets side by side. Let's add another single crochet on top of each one. For each cluster here, we will place 2 single crochets into those spaces between them. In that first cluster space, place 2 single crochets followed by chaining 1 before moving on to next cluster space for another 2 single crochets there too. Then repeat this process across all clusters until reaching last cluster, where you will also place 2 single crochets followed by chaining 1 again before finishing up here with 2 more single crochets placed on top right where those 2 were earlier too. Here at these 2 single crochet tops, add another 2 single crochets right there too. Into that chain space, let's place one single crochet before moving down through those 3 previous clusters below us now with 3 more single crochets placed right atop them there as well. Now let's descend down through those chains, carefully ensuring they lay flat along way down too, friends. Pay close attention here so everything stays neat while doing so, friends. Flip your work over. Chain 3. Work a single crochet stitch into the space between the 2 groups of yellow stitches. Chain 1. And then work a single crochet stitch into the space between the 2 groups of green stitches. Chain 1. And then work a single crochet into the space between the 2 groups of brown stitches. Chain 1, skip the next 2 stitches from the original ring, and work a slip stitch into the next stitch. Chain 1, flip the coaster back over. Work a slip stitch into the next stitch. Finally, slip stitch into second gap skipped earlier while chaining. Chain 1. We're going to work our way back up. Now, we're going to repeat the steps we just did to work our way back up the other side. We're going to work 1 chain between each single crochet stitch. Since we chained 3 to go down, we're going to chain 3 again to work back up. Work 3 single crochet stitches into the top of those 3 double crochet stitches from the previous round. Then work 1 single crochet stitch into the next chain space. Work 3 single crochet stitches into the next 3 double crochet stitches. We're just repeating the steps we did on the first side. We're going to chain 3 again to go down, but we're going to flip our work back over before we make the chains. Continue this pattern around the coaster, working your way down with chains and then back up with single crochet stitches until you reach the end of the round. Chain 1, flip your work over and work a slip stitch into the next single crochet stitch. Chain 1 and then work your way back up with single crochet stitches. We're almost there. Since this is the last section, we're going to chain 3 and then work 3 single crochet stitches into the top of the 3 double crochet stitches from the previous round. Work 1 single crochet stitch into the next chain space, and then work 3 single crochet stitches into the next 3 double crochet stitches. Now we're going to flip our work back over and chain 3. Remember, we're going to repeat the steps we did in the first and second sections of this round to complete the last part. We're going to work our way down the coaster with chains and then back up with single crochet stitches. We've made all of our single crochet stitches. Chain 3. Work 3 single crochet stitches into the top of the 3 double crochet stitches from the previous round. Work 1 single crochet into the next chain space. Then work 2 single crochet stitches into the top of the 2 double crochet stitches from the previous round. Now we're going to repeat the steps we did on the other side. Work 2 single crochet stitches into the next chain space, chain 1, and then work 2 single crochet stitches into the next chain space. Work 2 single crochet stitches into each of the next 2 chain spaces. We're going to finish the round off with 7 single crochet stitches. To make the feet, chain 6. Then, slip stitch into the 5th chain, chain 4, slip stitch into the same stitch, chain 4, and slip stitch into the same stitch again. We're going to create those adorable little toes. Now, chain 1 and work 2 single crochet stitches into the space below the chains. Finally, slip stitch into the top of the last single crochet stitch. Voila! You've created the first foot. Work 2 single crochet stitches into the next chain space. Repeat those steps to create the next foot. Chain 6. Work a slip stitch into the 5th chain. Chain 4, work a slip stitch into the same stitch. Chain 4, and work a slip stitch into the same stitch again. Chain 1, work 2 single crochet stitches into the space below the chains, and slip stitch into the top of the last single crochet stitch to create the second foot. Continue working single crochet stitches until you reach the beginning of the round. We worked 8 single crochet stitches after our foot, and 7 single crochet stitches before the foot. When we slip stitch to join, that will make those 8 single crochet stitches into 7 single crochet stitches. I use 6 chains for each foot, but feel free to use 8 or 10 chains. We've now created our beautiful V pattern. Weave in the end of your yarn and secure it in the back loop of the stitches. And there you have it. Don't forget to show it off on social media and tag me. I'd love to see your creations. And be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more fun projects, and share it with your crochet friends. We've finished our peacock-inspired coaster. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a fun project, wasn't it? Until next time, happy crocheting!